It all began with the report of the disappearance of Jessica Guadalupe Jaramillo, a psychology student at Unitec University. October 24th, 2019, was the last time she was seen alive. Her parents had dropped her off at the university. The last thing they remembered was Jessica stepping onto the sidewalk to enter the school and walking up the stairs. At 9 that evening, they went to pick her up, but she never came out. This struck them as strange, since they always dropped her off and picked her up. They only received a phone call in which she said, "I'm going to a meeting, don't worry, I'm with Oscar." Her family assumed she was referring to the father of her child, who had the same name. Jessica was the mother of a 10-month-old baby, and her life would be the key to finding the monster we would know soon. The next day, after several failed attempts to contact her, her family decided to file a report at the Missing Persons Unit. There, they were told they had to wait 24 hours before starting a search. Her family searched for her so bad, her father knew something was wrong, so days later he went to the home of a man named Oscar Garcia, who cursed at him. Oscar said Jessica wasn't there and kicked him out. But why was Jessica's family at Oscar's house? Earlier, when trying to locate her, they saw that the last GPS signal from Jessica's phone pointed to that address. Her father took this information to the authorities to ask for help. Even with proof of the GPS location, they told him that without a search warrant they could do nothing because they couldn't break the law. With no help from authorities, the Jaramillo family waited 4 nights in their van parked in front of Oscar's house. It was clear to them that if the GPS showed that location, she had to be there. After much insistence, they managed to get local and investigative police to visit the house. But since it was late at night, not much could be done. The officers left, and the family stayed. It was the first of 4 nights in front of the alleged killer's home. The next morning, after much insistence and knocking, Oscar Guzman came out and threatened them. "Let us in. We know Jessica is there," the Jaramillo family said. "Get out of here. If you come in, I'll shoot. There's no one here. I don't know any Jessica," Guzman responded. But the family did not back down, even as the hours passed and the chances of finding Jessica alive diminished. Then, on October 26th, just 2 days after her disappearance, they claimed to have found the definitive proof. They saw her through the window. She looked strange, dazed. They returned to the authorities, hoping to rescue her immediately, but once again were told that without a warrant, they couldn't do anything. As the 3rd night approached, the family remained outside, exposed to the cold, with only their van and a 10-month-old baby. Sunday, the 27th, arrived. The family's rage and desperation grew in the face of the authorities' inaction. Oscar again came out of the house, this time accompanied by an aggressive pit bull, and once again threatened them. They spent another night there. The next day, under the family's watchful eyes, Guzman left his house well dressed. For a man usually in disheveled black clothes, this was unusual. He went to the district attorney's office. There, he admitted he knew Jessica, but said he had seen her off in a taxi and hadn't heard from her since. This was the turning point that finally led to the warrant, which would not be executed until Wednesday the 30th. 96 hours of agony and helplessness passed in Villas del Antiguo, a neighborhood in Toluca, waiting for a warrant that came too late. That same Monday, the 28th, according to the relatives who hadn't left the house where they knew Jessica was, Oscar returned from the district attorney's office, changed his clothes, left the house with a backpack and cap, and brazenly greeted the family, who filmed him as he escaped before their eyes. The Jaramillos stayed, likely unaware that the killer was fleeing right in front of them. Perhaps they couldn't imagine what they were about to discover. Finally, during the early hours of the 29th, the search warrant was approved. When the authorities began the search, they had no idea they were about to uncover something even worse. Inside, they found Jessica's body in the bathroom with signs of strangulation and the bodies of two unidentified women buried in the backyard. The man was identified for the first time as Oscar Garcia Guzman, now a fugitive from justice. Indeed, the 28-year-old had kidnapped and murdered Jessica. The State of Mexico Attorney General's office offered a 300,000 peso reward for any information about his whereabouts. Jessica had previously told her parents that someone at the university was harassing her. She said she didn't like how he looked at her, that he followed her and made her feel afraid. She was referring to Oscar Guzman, a classmate at the Technological University of Toluca, an institution she had left due to his harassment. Later, while on the run, he posted on social media, "To catch a serial killer, you have to think like one," in a post alongside missing person flyers for 3 young women. The women buried in his backyard were later identified as Adriana Gonzalez Hernandez, 27 years old, and Martha Patricia Nava Sotelo, 25 years old, both missing within the last 2 years. Now, Jessica Guadalupe Jaramillo Orihuela, 23 years old, would be added to the list. Guzman mocked his actions online, and thanks to these posts, the case caught the attention of local and national media, who warned the public of a possible femicide suspect, now known as the Monster of Toluca. During the manhunt, what no one knew was that someone had been in contact with him for over 2 weeks, a connection that would be key to his capture. Frida Guerrera, the alias of a Mexican activist, stated that Guzman was full of rage and in desperate need of attention. Oscar described to Frida the torture he inflicted on Monica in 2012, a case for which he had not been investigated. He said he killed Adriana in February 2018 and Martha Patricia in February 2019. He explained that he hunted his victims. Once chosen, he stalked them obsessively. He had hallucinations about them. Frida first caught his attention with a Facebook post aimed directly at his ego. The message reached him while she was assisting prosecutors in a November 20th investigation. She received a Facebook message from Guzman, which she showed to an officer. It detailed how he committed the crimes. Guzman wrote, "Now, I have your attention." Then Frida replied, "What do you want?" Guzman said he wanted to know about his pets. "There are 3 of them. I want you to find them and let me know they're okay." That's how they began to track him. The authorities asked Frida to stay in contact with him while they traced his IP address. The prosecutors sent him photos of his pets, and Guzman, enraged, shared the photos publicly, saying his cat looked scared, looked sick, and that they would regret about it. He threatened to kill another woman, claiming he had a date and planned to murder her. By then, he trusted Frida and told her that in 2012, he tortured Monica Chavez and also killed her father. Most shockingly, he admitted to killing also his own father. In his delusions, he even sent videos of what he wanted to do to future victims. He asked Frida if she had fallen in love with him through their conversations, which she found absurd. He confessed he held resentment toward his mother and believed all women deserved the worst, saying they had it coming. Incredibly, he was captured after more than a month on the run. On December 6, 2019, Oscar Garcia Guzman was located in Mexico City just hours after contacting Frida via email. He was arrested around 3:30 p.m. in the northern part of the city. When cornered, he tried to disarm one of the officers using Israeli self-defense techniques, but the rest of the team subdued him. Among his belongings, he had candies he claimed were poisoned. He tried to eat one, but the police stopped him. After his capture, he confessed to killing not just the 3 women found in his home, but also a 4th woman and her father in 2012 in Otzolotepec, state of Mexico. Oscar used public Wi-Fi networks, making his capture easier. Police discovered he rode the Metro bus along Insurgentes Avenue daily. He had even connected to Wi-Fi while attending Knotfest, a massive rock and metal music festival. The activist said Oscar claimed he had romantic relationships with his victims. He even asked if she had fallen in love with him during their conversations. He referred to the women with contempt and blamed them for their deaths. It was easy to fool them, he said. He even negotiated with the authorities using his pets, offering to stop killing women in exchange for their safety. Apparently, the only thing he truly cared about were his pets. Ironically, a man who claimed to love animals had cold-bloodedly murdered several women and 2 elderly men, his biological father and the father of his first victim. After his capture, he was allowed one phone call to his mother.